So today is Wednesday the 31st of January and I'm here today with Alex Henderson. We're at Crossfit13, which is a CrossFit box, a little bit different to a gym where you first started your personal training.
Yes.
So that was back in 2012 when you first started at Fitness First.
That's it, yep.
So you started as a PT, but you've got a sports science qualification as well.
Yep.
So it seems to be your background and your working environment has always been in sports.
It has indeed, yep. Yeah, I was always interested in sports from school. You know, I never knew what I wanted to do career-wise. I had my brother, accountant. That's maths, does business studies, accountant, and his whole school career led him to, as he is now, be an accountant. And I was the exact opposite. So, I don't know. I enjoyed playing sport. It was sort of music and sport as a young kid. Parents sort of put me in both. I learned that. And it came to a stage where I was getting a lot better at sport than I was music, so I focused on that in my part-time, spare time. And then just kept doing what I enjoyed through school. So I enjoyed PE, I enjoyed English, I enjoyed maths. So I took those were my A-levels and took that on to university. What do I enjoy? Sports. And it was mainly sort of when I went to uni, I sort of like the laboratory stuff,
right,
and the study of the mechanics of movement and how the muscles work together, and that was where my interest lied. And then how to sort of get people moving in the right way, what was the difference between elite level and grassroots level, and all those kind of areas that we studied. I was just like, it sort of piqued my curiosity.
Yes.
So I sort of stayed with it, and so I got a degree out of it, and I thought, wow, can I use it? What the dream? I'd just go straight into elite level coaching, be at the Olympics instead. You've got to work up to that level. You can't just walk into that job, as I found out.
No. That's
so yeah, PT was then the next option. Use what I know. Had to do a 6-week quick course to change my degree into a level 3 qualification. Flew through that, and it was there that I sort of started understanding the business side of it. So I knew the science side, and then knew how to use that with people and how to make it approachable, and that's the bit that then made it more challenging for me, if you like.
So what's the difference between clients that you thought you were going to train, i.e. sportsmen, to somebody like me that comes into a gym off the street, doesn't know what to do? So how does that differ?
It's patience. That's how it differs. I knew sort of in the university we sort of test people and we'd all use each other, and we're all on a sports course, relatively high level sports performers. So you tell them to do something and they can do it straight away. Then you've got average Joe coming off the street, New Year's resolution as we are at the moment, say I want to lose weight. It's like, cool, show me a squat, and it's on their toes, the knees are coming forward, they're rounded back, and you kind of think, you've never sat down before, or you've never done anything, or you've been such in an office that you have no control over where your body's going. And that was the difference between sort of knowing how to fix mobility position-wise, as opposed to just saying, show me a squat, cool, show me 10 squats, and making sure they can do 1 or 2 movements correctly before going straight into right, this is when we're going to add weight, this is how long we're going to train, we're going to train 4 or 5 times a week. It's sort of finding the starting level first.
Yeah.
And then being able to build stage by stage until they're into a level where, show me a squat, and it's perfect. And then we can do the same squat at body weight as we can with 100 kilos, and it shouldn't look any different. And it was getting that level was a difference between what I thought I was going to do and where I had to start with it and sort of learn along the way.
Do you not think that your degree and how the mechanics of the body moved has really helped you within the PT industry?
Yes, yeah, 100%. Learning about how the body moves, you can kind of see the 7, 8, 9 stages of each movement rather than thinking of it as one lift. You can see there's the deadlift, but the first part is getting that hip hinge, and how to get the hip hinge is where you say, well, these are the muscles that you want to engage. Have you engaged them before you've even hold a bar kind of thing? And it was sort of being able to break down the individual parts. Olympic lifting, coaching that is my favourite thing to coach at the moment, so your cleans and your snatch, because there's so many individual parts to it. You can literally break it down and spend a whole hour session working on an inch-based motion, making sure that you've got the right support system to control the weight in the safest, most efficient way. And you get to the end of a session and you say, right, now show me a squat or show me the clean at the end of it. And having just worked on one little bit, they then get the whole thing straight away, and that's where the degree came in. I think I can focus down onto that individual section, and then the end product becomes just a result of that, if you like.
So do you think that's sort of giving your clients that little bit extra, rather than just giving you a bar and saying, right, okay, we're going to do 10 squats, we're going to do 10 lifts, we're going to do 10 deadlifts or whatever? You're actually giving them something additional to a normal PT would give.
That's what I'd like to think. Because I remember doing my PT for qualification, and go around and practice, and you saw other people sort of doing their physical and watching them and see what they were talking. And a lot of it was, this is the program, that's the amount of reps you go and I'll count, as opposed to go and I'll watch you and I'll coach you and make sure you're doing it right. And yeah, that's what I think got me my first few clients when I got in there, because I didn't just say, this is the machine, this is how you use it, go and do it. I sort of said, this is the machine, show me what you got, and then tweaked it from there. And hopefully if they saw just the smallest increase in performance or a slightly easier motion or got a little bit lower in a movement, then it was a success. And when it's just in one, if you've got success, they're likely to sign on to you afterwards and do that.
And obviously more beneficial for them as a person, being able to do that move correctly without injury.
Definitely. Definitely.
So do you think coming into CrossFit that this is sort of dovetails quite nicely with your qualification, your degree anyway?
Yep.
Because it is very functional based, isn't it?
That's it, yeah. I say it moved in. I first found CrossFit because coaching in Fitness First, I got bored then with my own training. I'd been in the room 6 hours already, and then it was sort of time, I got a spare hour, try and train, and I was just sort of walking around queuing up for a machine if it wasn't used, trying to change it for something else. And I thought, I had no motivation. So I knew someone from uni had said he'd got into CrossFit, so I'll give it a go. Found a Chelmsford, and it was, as you say, my university degree in gym format, if you like. It was people physically coaching me how to squat, as opposed to just in a squat rack doing it yourself. There was someone there watching me. I thought, I know I've done it before, at a relatively high level in my sport, but I had nothing when I first stopped in this one. He picked me apart, and I thought, this is amazing. So I thought I could squat, I thought I could shoulder press quite well, and he said no. And all I did was just sort of move an arm a little bit further forward, or move a leg just a little bit further out to the right, and the difference it made. And it was that kind of experience that sort of eventually took my whole career out of Fitness First, out of the mainly PT work, into more group-based CrossFit settings, if you like.
Yeah. Do you think that there's been an increase over the last couple of years in fitness competitions and bodybuilding competitions, that people's perception of you as a personal trainer or a coach here has changed in what you can do for them?
Definitely. Very much in here. I always stayed away from the bodybuilding side of fitness. It wasn't my forte. I didn't know much what I was talking about when I first started. Because of that, I got into more of the CrossFit way, and then the fitness competitions about performance, weight-based, and so your powerlifting competitions, your CrossFit weekends away kind of thing. And that is definitely, you saw when I first started, I think there were 4 or 5 boxes like this in Essex. There's now upwards of 20 boxes in Essex, and each one has up to 100 members, some a bit more, some a bit less. and all of those guys are promoted into competition and give it a go, have another go with it. So you've got all this new wave of people getting interested. You've got the guys that do it at the highest level being pushed to the next level by the new guys coming in. And I think you can't go a weekend in the UK now without a fitness CrossFit competition that someone in this box is attending or is doing a qualifier for. So that filters down into the classes. And those that come in, your average Joe, just want to use it for fitness rather than competition. Doesn't matter for me. I coach them in the same kind of way. But they see these guys and then they get a taste for it. And then we offer a Friday night competition every 2 months in here, just a friendly in-house, all amongst your friends. But you experience that competition. And the amount of people that come back and say they've got a buzz out of competition, when all they're doing is basically doing a workout, the same as they do in a class. It's just called competition. It's a different atmosphere, if you like.
It's a different sort of community here in a box than it is going to either a bodybuilding gym or a fitness centre. Is that something that's promoted?
Yes, yeah, definitely. It was always community first. So when I got in, CrossFit was all about group training. So we have here classes of up to 12 people at a time. And it's that group that kind of you come in and train or meet your friends as opposed to you go to the gym. And that's what we try and champion. We'll get people to work together. So we have 4 rigs, we have 12 people to class. You're forced to interact and share a rig. 3 people, maybe more sometimes. And it's that forced interaction. There's no headphones, there's no come and do your own thing. You're all in the same boat. You've got 1 hour from start to finish. You're taking through the warm-up at the same time, the strength at the same time, the workout at the same time. You might scale the movements, so you'll be at a different level to that person next to you, but you do it exactly the same time and you feel just as bad at the end of it as you would do if you found it 5 reps in 10 minutes as opposed to 150 reps in 10 minutes. You're working at the same level, it's just your individual level. And it's that kind of difference in level that kind of helps that community. Get some guys will ask questions of the other members as opposed to always asking me as a coach. And you can kind of sort of go around and sort of listen and make sure their responses are what you would say. If not, just adapt it slightly, say maybe try this or maybe try that. But you can use the group to bounce off each other. And it's that then community that says, come back tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow, I'll see you at 10, I'll see you at 5, what time are you in on Sunday? And it's that you then come back and train for, as opposed to getting bored of your mundane routine, going into the gym,
split sessions.
The same exact sort of body weight movements, your split sessions, and it's, you come in to see your mates as opposed to come in to keep the Christmas weight off and things like that.
Which obviously makes it more enjoyable, but also it obviously opens it up to everybody of all levels, because everybody's then taken care of the same way.
Yeah, they get the same experience, so they've all had a taster. Every member in here has gone through the same foundations course where we teach them the basics of Olympic lifting, squatting, how we would coach as opposed to how they may have been coached before. So they've all entered as complete beginners to varying different levels, but they've still all gone through the same process of it. And it's that next, do you remember that workout we did last week? I said, it was horrendous, but I really liked it. So then we got a group come in on Sunday afternoon, all joined different times. So some people have been here since the very beginning, so 4 or 5 years ago. Others come in the last 6, 7 months or so. And they all just made friends by being in the class together. And then every Sunday, 12 to 2, we have an open gym session. So it's not a class to coach, you just come in and do what you want with it. And they come in there's 6 or 7 of them, and they've researched the workout online. It's probably got a name, which means it's probably horrendous. And they just write it on the whiteboard, set themselves up, and they just go. Uncoached, no one telling them what to do, and they put themselves through hell, but they do it as a group, and there's always a smile at the end of it. They take a photo at the end of to say, yes, this is what we did. And sometimes they then go into town and have a few drinks and a bit of dinner or a bit of lunch afterwards as well. So you've got that social side outside the gym as well, which keeps bringing people back.
So obviously it seems to me it's caring more about the person as a whole rather than just exercising a body. You are taking care of that person.
Yeah, exactly right. Taking care of the holistic idea. So you come into the gym to train, but at the same time you want to enjoy it. At the same time you want to achieve certain goals. At the same time, it doesn't have to be elite level focus training. It can be just come in and train once a week and have enjoyment out of it. And it's that social element of it that creates the whole experience. So sometimes I'll coach and it'll be so specific and I'll move those inches and it'll be more like I did on PT training. Other sessions, there's a workout, I set them up and all I'm doing is walking up and down, making sure no one's going to hurt themselves or injure themselves. And the rest of it is down to them. They'll help each other out and they'll encourage and they'll shout. And it's that holistic approach. We're not just fitness trainers. We're coaches, so the coaching role of it is you're your mentor. They want to ask you questions, they'll come and talk to you. They got problems with the movement, they'll come and talk to me. They got injuries they want to work around, come and talk to me, rather than this is a program, go and do it. Yeah. We got that adaptability. And it's, that's the sides. I do less and less PT work, more and more group training to get that bounce and the holistic approach, the enjoyment of fitness as opposed to the chore of fitness.
Excellent. So you started your qualification in 2007 and it's now 2018. What actually keeps you in the business?
It's the new faces. So you go from, obviously I've been in this place now for 5 years, and you sort of look at the faces and the experience you had when we first opened, and everything was new, everything was shiny and white, and the equipment was brand new and not broken, and you went through the phase where it got used and broken, new faces came, old faces go, and it's just the same idea. CrossFit is just movement. There's nothing new in CrossFit. We just put together in group situations. It's just group coaching. But the community is what keeps bringing me back. So you've got new faces making friends with old faces. You've got old faces still making personal best lifts 5 years down the line, kind of thing. And it's just, there's always something going on. And it's that sort of interest in community and the sort of different experiences people are having that keeps me coming back. There's no awkward silences. I'm not best at conversation. So as PT, I was like, I've said my part, but once it gets to the point where I run out of things to say, I'm not great at just doing small talk. You know? So in the group situation, I sort of run out of things I need to say. You can then bounce off someone else, bring someone else into the conversation, or refer them to, watch how this guy's doing it, this is what you want to see. Rather than me having to demonstrate and everything, I can just turn gaze around the room. And there's so many different options and ways to coach it, which is, again, keeps it different every time you come in. And that's what keeps bringing me back, keeps my enjoyment in it. There's always something new to, I did that, or they did that, or we got through it. Sometimes it's just some classes are jam-packed. There's certain movements that are more difficult than others. You look at the workout that you got planned, you've got to deliver for the day. You think, I just don't want to be coaching this person that move, but it's the challenge, and it's different. You don't want it to be easy every time, otherwise it would get boring.
It would get boring, yeah, definitely.
So some days are more difficult than others, but again, it's the variety of the experience. The stuff I coach is the same. New progressions on how to coach it, different ways on how to link movements together, always come in and out, and we try our things. Some work, some don't. We leave some, we keep some. So it's the same skeleton, but a different body around it is always fun.
So how do you keep yourself fresh? How do you keep, when you come in, you've still got that enthusiasm?
I tend to switch off completely when I leave. I used to live with a girl. I moved in with a girl and she did nothing. She tried to get me to jazzercise, and it was the nicest possible way. I thought, it's not for me, I don't want to do jazzercise. But I work at CrossFit13. Come down and do it. And then she came down for a taster, I think a year into me just pestering her to come do it. And she trains more than I do now. She's in twice a day at the weekends. She's moved gyms so she can get more of an open gym. She's got a competition training schedule that she does. But it was going back home and she was there and everything she talked about was CrossFit this, CrossFit. I said, that's work. Yeah. Don't talk to me about CrossFit here anymore. It was my fault I got her into it in the first place. But it was her hobby, so she was talking about home time, it was my downtime. She's since moved out, so I don't live with that at home anymore, and that's how I can keep it fresh. So I leave the gym, I lock the door, CrossFit's done. There's a bit of reading and there's a bit of research and obviously your PDF courses and all your nutrition and things to read up on. But the job itself, I don't coach anyone. I don't talk to anyone about how my workout was. It's left at the door. And that way every time I come in, this is my work. This is my downtime. And having the difference between the two keeps me sane, keeps me fresh. Keeps me happy.
That's good. So what is your aim?
My aim is for people to enjoy being fit. Everyone has the same body. It works in the same way. Some people have different metabolic rates and things like that, so it's slightly tweaked for different people, but in essence everyone's got the same body, and you can use fitness in however different ways you want. Like everybody has, or most people have, a love for sport. Some people like rugby, some people like cricket, some people like hockey. It doesn't matter. It's the same process, you've just channeled it in a different way. So here I like to channel it in a different way. And whether that be someone coming in to competition, to that elite level that I originally wanted all those years ago. I say, wow, awesome, let me take you through it. This is how you tactically attack this workout. You don't want to go too fast too early on, or go hard that bit because you know this is your weak bit that's going to slow you down, so get there faster, and then work your way through that bit as others catch you up. And you can do that side of it, or you can do, this is the first time you've ever picked up a barbell in your life. And yeah, do it that way.
It seems to me that going back to like the holistic type of environment this is as well, it's all about, as you were saying there, it's helping people strategise with the workout, how to plan to get through a competition.
Yep.
And do you actually then help them with their nutrition to help them through the competition as well?
Sometimes as a team we do. So it might not always be me. We've got James, our head coach, is a qualified nutritionist, will write nutrition programs for them. So he goes through MyFitnessPal, he gets them to log everything, and then he'll chase down what you hit them. So why have you not logged in what this? So it's coaching on the nutrition side as well. So I'll offer verbal advice, but anything sort of, if they want written down programs, you just promote it upstairs. And James will do it from his point of view. I spend most of my time in this room, the physical coaching side of it, and that's how we kind of work. We bounce off each other and do it that way. Little things like, when should I eat after training and things like that, I'll answer that straight away. And how do I do this? And say, I don't know, you eat that at that time or that at that time. It doesn't really make too much difference. It's all finding out how their body works in that way. But yeah, we offer nutrition advice. We offer rest advice, which is the main thing.
Most important. Nobody thinks it is.
Everyone, if you get really into CrossFit, I must train. My engine's weak, so I've got to train 20, 30-minute workouts. No, rest. You see a load of people get little stress injuries and burn out and get really frustrated with it because they try and, let's train, I've got to train every day, I'm never going to get into that competition unless I keep training. I'm like, slow it down. CrossFit itself, Crossfit.com recommends 3 days on, 1 day off. At least 1 day every 4 days, you're having a little rest and a little break. We say, if you feel tired, rest. There is no reason to push your body beyond its limits just because you think it's better for you. And doing a 20-minute workout every single day is not necessarily going to increase your engine. You could do a 2-minute workout and increase your engine. It's just a different focus to it, and the constant guessing will change the stimulus in a better way. Sort of like your interval training, if you like, spread over the week. Go hard one day, slightly soft the next day, medium level, rest, do it again, and the constant change, you'll get better results. And it's getting people to understand that side as well as just training more will get me better results, or eating more will get me bigger and bulk. Yeah, to a certain extent, yes, but understand it a bit more. And we say, yeah, so you've got nutrition, the rest, the workout side, and then the mobility as well. People want to come in, lift heavy weights and go home again. You can do that. That will work up to a point, and then you'll find that your elbows can't come further forward than that. And you're never going to get in a nice front rack position to receive it clean, and then your weights will actually start getting worse rather than getting stronger and doing that one. So the amount of people always come in and say, I just can't get through that. And I say, well, 20 minutes mobility work. These are a few stretches you can try, give it a go. It's not going to be a quick fix, but you've got to stay with it. And in time, your mobility will lead to better lifts. Your better lifts will get to better results. Your better results may lead you into competition where you'll need to rest more, where you'll need to work on nutrition, and it all cycles through and again, comes back to the holistic approach and doing it that way.
Brilliant. So how has CrossFit itself evolved in the time that you've been training here?
Interestingly, it's evolved. It was always, CrossFit was, these are the workouts, this is the competition element, do it as fast as you can. And then online, it got more and more beatings and more negative reviews because the amount of injuries that were being posted, and everyone's calloused hands. They say, oh look, I cut my hands open. I'm like, don't do that. It gives us a bad name. Is that it's not what every CrossFit box is around. No. The downside of CrossFit is that you can get a level 1 qualification and open it up within a weekend. You need no prior experience and no opening. Right. That's the business side of CrossFit that doesn't work. Within that element, you do have the bad ones. And it's the business side. There's nothing we can do about it as Crossfit13 to say, don't go there, they're rubbish. Because that's our opinion. We can't do that. What we can do is make sure that we coach the movements and do it that way. And it seems that more and more boxes have lasted that coach good movements. So as we've gone through the years, loads opened up. And then I think last year, James was saying, through his own box, we've had the first year where we had more boxes closed than open, in the UK at least. That's because certain businesses, the model works, but you need to provide the experience.
That's right.
So we're getting less and less negative injury videos coming online, and then less and less people hating on it, and more people actually seeing it for what it could be and what it is, hopefully, in most boxes. And so the rise is coming back on against more and more people getting into the CrossFit side of things. So popularity is going there. The competition level has dramatically increased. As I say, we had sort of 1 or 2 a month that you could go to when I first started. I say there's at least 1, if not 3 or 4 every weekend somewhere. And then we got people here now going abroad, going into Greece and Amsterdam just to do a CrossFit competition for the weekend.
Amazing.
Their families don't think so.
Oh.
You're going away on holiday to work out?
I think it's not because you're too good at your job, do you think?
That's it. I mean, I'll take it as a compliment. If you're getting to that level, then we must be doing something right in here. But it's definitely interesting to see how far it's spread.
Yeah.
Obviously, it came across from the United States, started in 2000. We really kind of came across here 2007, 2008 when the CrossFit Games competition kind of started. And then it was still, when I joined, it was still relatively on the quiet side. But the last 3 or 4 years, it's just exploded. And there's CrossFit box everywhere you go. You go away for the weekend of business, you'll find 2 or 3 or 4 boxes somewhere near your hotel that you can go and drop in and have a go at and do it that way. And that's nice to see. That's how the involvement is there. The community side is now spread worldwide.
Yeah. I think it's a lot nicer environment than just walking into a bodybuilding gym. And I think probably people find it a lot more easier to come into this sort of environment than, especially if you're not actually used to exercise as well, than going and looking at a rack of weights and not knowing what to do with them. Yeah,
there's a way it's going, use it, good luck.
Yeah.
Whereas this, so we'll try and welcome you in. If the coach is not with you as soon as you walk in, say that community side, someone else will see your new face and think, oh, who are you? And go introduce yourself and make them feel welcome and come in that way. And it's that making you want to feel like you should be there or you're wanted there. That will get better results out of it.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for talking to me today and stuttering over my words.
You're welcome.
And best of luck for the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.